Time in a long time. We heard from some of the key players who worked tirelessly on this case. The gag order no longer exists, so police and prosecutors were able to address some of the questions raised by people who care about what happened that tragic night in November of 2022. Abby Davis continues our team coverage tonight. Excuse me. She joins us live in front of the Ada County Courthouse.
Bryan, the news conference today lasted for nearly an hour, with the people involved taking far more questions and answering those questions, taking far more of them than we had expected.
That the court sentenced the defendant to fixed life for the murder of Maddie Mogan.
Less than an hour after getting emotional in court.
On count 3, that the court sentenced the defendant.
Lead prosecutor Bill Thompson explaining why he choked up during Bryan Kohberger's sentencing Wednesday.
There is no easy way to remain stiff-lipped and dry-eyed through this kind of tragedy. There just simply isn't.
Thompson joined the Moscow Police Department, Idaho State Police, and the FBI, among others, for a news conference once they learned the man who killed 4 University of Idaho students will spend the rest of his life behind bars.
While this marks the end of a long and challenging journey through the criminal justice system, we acknowledge that for the families, friends, and loved ones of these 4 young people, the grief does not end, because the losses are permanent and the pain remains.
Pain caused by a senseless crime investigators say they still don't understand.
The evidence suggests that there was a reason that this particular house was chosen. What that reason is, we don't know.
We have never, to this date, found a single connection between him and any of the 4 victims or the 2 surviving roommates.
Law enforcement also saying they still have not found the K-bar knife they believe Kohberger used to commit these crimes, only the knife sheath, which was found at the scene.
It's in this of where it could have been, and we just were not able to find it.
While questions remain, investigators say they're proud of all that led to today.
As law enforcement officers, we often say that this is more than a job, it's a calling. This case reminds us why we answer that call, why we stand for victims, why we fight. In this case, why we fight pure evil, and why we keep going, even when the road is long and answers are hard to find. In this horrific case, I am proud of the work that was done and the people who carried it out.
We also spoke to the former Moscow Police Chief James Fry. He finished a 30-year career with the department in June, and during that time he oversaw the Kohberger investigation. Here's what he said about getting the initial call about the murders.
A little bit terrifying, to be quite honest. You know, you're hearing about 4 students murdered on the campus that you went to school at, where you worked at for a lot of years, and it's just shocking. How can it happen here?
Fry told us he wishes he had done some things differently, namely doing the first news conference sooner. But all these years later, he says it feels really good to get to this point, and that today's sentencing really brought a sense of closure. Back to you, Bryan.